D&D Beyond changes course on their forced 2024 rules adoptions.
I've made a huge mistake.
D&D Beyond will not move forward with a controversial plan to update all of these spells in its digital character sheets to those found in the 2024 Dungeons & Dragons Player Handbook, after some immense pushback from players. Now, in a statement released early this morning, Wizards of the Coast announced that D&D Beyond users would no longer automatically have their character options, spells, and magical items updated to their 2024 versions in their character sheets. Basically, what this means is that originally their plan was to functionally change all the text that pops up when you hover over certain spells or magical items to reflect the new rules. Instead, players who only have access to the 2014 version of the Player's Handbook will maintain their current sets of rules on the character sheet, while those with both the 2024 and 2014 version can select from both sources when creating new characters. Similarly, this would also apply to those users who are in a campaign that uses the 2024 versions and not, our content sharing. Now, the announcement is a direct reversal of previous plans for D&D Beyond. Previously, all players, regardless as to whether they purchased the 2024 Player's Handbook, would have their spells, magical items, and mundane items updated to the updated rules found in the new rulebook. Of course, fans protested, as many players have either not committed to using the new revised rules, or don't plan on using it, period, or only plan to switch over after finishing their current campaign. There's lots of players that are in the middle of a 5e campaign. Why would they switch the rules halfway through it after all? Now, also, the forced change, while free, was also seen as a way to push the new rules on all players, regardless as to whether they wanted to use them or not. Some also claimed that this flew in the face of the backwards compatibility touted by Wizards regarding the D&D rule set. Now, that's not quite true, but it still didn't look good. We'll also point out that Roll20 had started to advertise that their service did allow for use of the 2014 and 2024 rules. Now, here's what D&D Beyond said in their statement. Our excitement around the 2024 core rulebooks led us to view these planned updates as welcome improvements and free upgrades to existing content. We misjudged the impact of this change, and we agree that you should be free to choose your own way to play. That statement actually is almost word for word what Just Lanzillo said in an interview with Comic Book Hey, That's Us earlier this month. Now, obviously, the fact that Wizards backed down so hard and so quickly speaks to both the level of outrage about these changes and also how quickly Wizards wanted to make sure that the issue was handled before the D&D Direct. Now, the D&D Direct, which is tomorrow, was supposed to reveal the future of D&D and will likely launch the Project Sigil closed beta sometime in the next few weeks. I will also point out that while it's great that D&D Beyond is backing down from this and what seemed to just be a really poorly implemented plan is being scrapped entirely, it also raises some confusion as to why they just didn't do this in the first place. Surely there was someone in the room that's dealt with addition nonsense before. I don't know. There's a few people who work for Wizards of the Coast that saw the 3.5 versus 4th edition wars. We lived through that. It sucked. And I kind of just wondered why someone just, didn't realize that doing something like this would really touch some buttons that really don't need to be touched. Hey, I don't know why they originally decided to do this. All I know is that I'm glad that they aren't. So, are you happy about D&D Beyond backing off of these proposed changes? Or do you think that this was all just a lot of shouting for nothing? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to hit those like and subscribe buttons.